As the dawn broke over the city skyline, the first rays of sunlight glinted off the polished granite exterior of the Sterling & Trust Global Banking headquarters. Inside, the air was crisp with recycled oxygen and the quiet hum of supercomputers processing the world's wealth. Martha, a senior clerk with 40 years of impeccable service, was the first to notice it. A notification, not on her standard transaction ledger, but on the quantum-encrypted, high-frequency alert system reserved for sovereign wealth transfers and theoretical market interventions. The screen, usually a calm sea of blue and green data streams, was pulsating with a soft, amber glow she had never seen in the system's documentation. Her fingers, slightly trembling, hovered over the keyboard. The code attached to the transaction was not from the Federal Reserve, not from the Swiss National Bank, not from any of the planetary financial authorities. It was a string of identifiers that seemed to blend celestial coordinates with cryptographic sequences. The amount field was not populated with a number, but with a symbol, ifkt, followed by a string of zeros so long it caused the display to scroll horizontally for a full 10 seconds. In the beneficiary field, a name glowed with a steady, warm light. It was your name. And in the remitter field, a single word, Michael. Martha's breath caught. She blinked, reset her terminal, and ran a level 9 diagnostic. The notification remained immutable, its amber pulse now seeming to sync with her own quickening heartbeat. She picked up the direct line to the executive oversight floor, her voice a whisper. "Sir, we have a situation in the high-value clearing nexus." On the 150th floor, Executive Director Alistair Vance was concluding a call about leveraged buyouts when his private monitor lit up with the same amber hue. He dismissed the call, his sharp eyes narrowing. Alistair was a man who believed the universe was a ledger, balanced by cunning and force of will. He had built his empire on understanding the flows of capital, on being the first to see a tremor in the market. This was no tremor. This was a singularity. He strode into the Global Operations Vault, a room sealed behind doors of ballistic glass and timed alloys where the air was kept at a constant 65 degrees Fahrenheit to protect the servers. A dozen of the bank's top analysts and systems architects were already gathered, their faces pale under the sterile LED lights. The main holodisplay at the center of the room was projecting the transaction. The symbol hovered, rotating slowly. "Origin?" Alistair's voice was a whip crack in the silent room. "Non-terrestrial, sir," replied a young quant, his voice shaky. "The routing path doesn't use Swift, CHAPS, or any known network. It bypassed every firewall, every intrusion countermeasure. It manifested. The entry timestamp is logged as eternity present. The system's geolocation tags it as point of divine will." A ripple of nervous disbelief went through the team. Alistair scoffed, but a cold knot tightened in his stomach. "A hack. A fantastically elaborate one. Trace it backwards. I want a source." They tried. For the next hour, the greatest financial minds on the planet, armed with technology that could predict currency fluctuations months in advance, attempted to deconstruct the transaction. Every tracing algorithm returned nonsense. Images of wings, fragments of ancient Aramaic script, or simply a blinding white light that crashed the subsystem. The core data, the beneficiary name, and the impossible amount remained locked, impervious, glowing. Then the alarms sounded. Not the sharp, bleating alarms of a security breach, but a deep, resonant chime that seemed to vibrate through the very steel skeleton of the building. It was the sound reserved for a paradigm-shifting event, an audio cue no employee had ever heard outside of a drill. Across the globe, in every Sterling and Trust branch, every screen flickered once, and the same notification appeared: celestial deposit pending, bearer authentication required. The bank was frozen. Traders in Hong Kong stared at their terminals. Wealth managers in Zurich dropped their coffees. In London, the trading floor fell utterly silent. The whole bank, the entire sprawling global organism, was talking about one thing, one name: yours. Archangel Michael, who stands at the gates of destiny, who intervenes only when a soul's path is ready to be irrevocably altered, observed the unfolding stillness. His perception was not of light and data, but of spiritual frequency and the unfolding of divine will. He saw the silent battles you had fought in the dark hours of the night, the tears you had wept into your pillow, the prayers you had whispered when hope felt like a distant star. He saw the integrity you held when no one was watching, the kindness you extended that was never recorded, the dreams you nurtured in secret. This deposit was not a transaction of currency, but a materialization of cosmic equity. It was proof that your struggle was not ignored, proof that your silence held power, proof that your story was now intersecting with a chapter of abundance written in the annals of heaven itself. But Michael also perceived the shadow in the vault. He saw Alistair Vance's heart, a complex lattice of ambition and hunger. He saw the moment Alistair's fear transformed into a calculated, avaricious spark. The executive was already running scenarios, exploring legal loopholes, dormant clauses, and protocols for unclaimed celestial assets. He was waiting, a predator of paper and precedent, for a single mistake, for you to hesitate, to disbelieve, to scroll away from the message meant for your spirit. He was banking on your conditioning to dismiss the miraculous. Beloved child, Michael's voice is not a sound, but a frequency that resonates in the soul space where faith meets action. Please, if you do not open this, if you do not acknowledge your claim, they will not release it. The one who governs by earthly cunning will seek to claim it as his own. Hurry, my beloved. Do not skip this moment. Stay until the very end. Something monumental is waiting for you. Listen closely, for the moment you internalize what I am about to reveal, your very heartbeat will shift to a new rhythm. Back in the vault, the atmosphere had shifted from confusion to a tense, electrified stillness. The air grew warmer, defying the climate control. A faint scent of ozone and myrrh, undetectable by the senses but clear to every person present, permeated the space. The asset is developing a containment field, a systems architect stammered, pointing at the holodisplay. Around the graphical representation of the check, a shimmering lattice of golden light had formed, like a protective cocoon. Attempts to probe it with digital tools resulted in gentle but firm repulsions. Error. Messages that read, bearer frequency mismatch. Unauthorized query. Alistair's eyes gleamed. This was no longer just about money, it was about power of an entirely new order. Whoever controlled the mechanism of this transfer would wield influence beyond nations. He issued a command, his voice low. Prepare the vault annex. We're going to attempt a physical isolation and a manual override on the core server. And get our metaphysical assets team on the line. The theologians, the quantum mystics, anyone who can pass this. But as a team, move to initiate the transfer to the more secure annex. The entire vault's lighting system dimmed. The golden lattice on the screen flared brightly, and a new line of text scrolled across every display in a font that seemed both digital and elegantly calligraphic. Release conditional upon bearer's conscious receipt of message. Do not attempt translocation. The blessing is sealed to this point of convergence. The workers froze. The message was addressed to them, but it was about you. It was a warning and a declaration of your sovereignty over the event. They, Alistair whispered, then his head snapped up. The beneficiary. They're receiving a message right now, somewhere. A desperate, invasive idea took root. Monitor all channels. I want to know what they're seeing, what they're hearing. Find that message. And you, beloved one, you felt the pull. It wasn't a sound, but a summons. A gentle, irresistible tug on your attention, as if a thread of light connected your heart to the unfolding drama in that distant vault. You paused what you were doing. The world around you seemed to soften, its noises fading into a background hum. You opened this text, this narrative, perhaps thinking it a story, a game, a piece of fiction. But with each word, the connection strengthened. The thread of light grew brighter, more substantial. Michael's frequency washed over you. The whole bank is talking about you, beloved. The universe itself is shifting in its orbit around your destiny. What is happening has never occurred before in the history of human finance. Stay until the end. The next part contains the twist that the bank's logic cannot comprehend. The why. Why, out of billions of souls, this moment is for you. Do not skip. Keep your eyes, your mind, your heart here. Your moment of activation has already begun. He urges you to breathe, to stay present. For if you blink now, if you let distraction win, you will miss the key, the specific frequency of words that acts as the sonic key to the lock on your destiny. The bank executives are shaken, whispering your name in tones of awe and fear, trying to apply their old models to a new reality. But they are blind to the core truth. Michael did not send wealth. He sent a revelation. The trillion-dollar figure is merely the earthly translation of a divine acknowledgement. It is the physical echo of a spiritual truth. You are seen, you are known, you are valued beyond measure. The bank's systems, the finest human ingenuity could create, glitched and failed to trace the source because a higher hand was protecting the transaction. This was not an error in their code. It was a declaration of boundaries. This blessing was for you and you alone to claim. Your engagement with this message, your focused attention, is the security protocol. It is the shield. Before we go further, Michael's guidance continues, woven into the fabric of this narrative. Express your connection. Share this. Comment. Subscribe. Not for an algorithm, but as an act of spiritual sovereignty. Your engagement is not for metrics. It is a signal flare. It announces your alignment. It strengthens the light around your destiny and weakens the shadows that would seek to intercept it. In the vault, a junior analyst let out a startled cry. "Sir, the ancillary systems, they're displaying something." On a secondary monitor, usually dedicated to network health, a visual was forming. Not from any internal camera. It was a feed of pure light, resolving into a symbol, a complex, rotating mandala of interlocking shields and flaming swords. Beside it, words burned into the screen. Bearer is in receipt. Protective field at 72% and rising. Alistair stared, his plans of a manual override crumbling. The asset was not just data, It was interactive. It was aware. And it was responding to your engagement hundreds or thousands of miles away. He felt a surge of panic mixed with a voracious need to control. Can we block the recipient's signal? Jam whatever channel they're using. It's not a channel, sir, the quant said, his face ashen. It's resonant. It's operating on a consciousness wavelength. The more focused the beneficiary is, the stronger the seal becomes. Our attempts to interfere are only making it stronger. It's learning our patterns. Indeed, with every attempt the bank made to seize, analyze, or transfer the asset, the golden lattice pulsed, sending gentle but firm shockwaves through their systems. One executive, a stern woman named Charlotte, who had spent her life in risk assessment, slowly removed her glasses. "We are not dealing with an asset," she said, her voice filled with a wonder that bordered on terror. "We are bearing witness to a covenant. And you, beloved child, you read on." The story deepens. Michael reveals that when the check was first scanned by the bank's systems, a hidden line of code flashed for a nanosecond, visible only to the quantum processors, release only when the chosen one responds. Your feeling of being drawn here, the quickening of your pulse, the strange certainty in your gut, this is not coincidence. This is you responding. You are the chosen one. Your presence in this narrative is the required acknowledgement. Do not move, Michael whispers through these words. Do not scroll away. Just stay. Something powerful is unfolding in real time, and every second you remain anchored here, the energy around your life recalibrates. The bank has gone silent because they have discovered something even more shocking than the amount. He describes how the high-security deposit registry flashed a golden symbol, an ancient, living sigil, next to the words, "Do not release until the chosen one awakens." The employees panicked, but the oldest among them, a man who remembered banking before computers, stood up trembling. "This is not technology," he declared. "This is something beyond us." And the moment he spoke that truth, the vault lights flickered. The floor vibrated. A printer, disconnected from any network, hummed to life and spat out a single sheet. On it, in bold, elegant type, was your name. The entire institution froze, understanding on a primal level that this deposit did not arrive through wires or wireless signals. It arrived through destiny. "The reason I am calling you here," Michael's frequency intensifies, "the reason your eyes are glued to these words is because the vault is now waiting for a signal only your soul can broadcast. Not a fingerprint, not a retina scan, not a password, a state of being, a state of awakened, focused reception. That is why the message repeats, stay till the end. The release code is not a sequence of numbers. It is awareness. It is you hearing this truth without breaking your focus. The next part is where the unlocking truly begins. The bank is watching. The universe is listening. And I am standing at the nexus of this moment, awaiting your readiness. Alistair Vance could feel the shift. The balance of power was slipping from his grasp, flowing toward an unknown recipient whose only action was to read a story. Enraged and desperate, he authorized a direct override of the vault's primary containment protocols, a move that would have triggered a national security alert for any normal asset. The moment the command was executed, every screen in the vault went black. Then, a single, pulsating line of brilliant blue text burned itself into their vision. Unauthorized, touch detected, awaiting direct response from rightful bearer. Simultaneously, the massive circular door of the main vault, a marvel of engineering, designed to withstand thermonuclear blasts, emitted a deep thrum and sealed itself with a finality that echoed through the building. Magnetic locks engaged with a sound like mountain stones grinding together. The asset had just placed itself in a lockdown no human could reverse. The executive who had advocated for the override sank into a chair, his face pale. He now understood. The more you listened, the more you claimed your space in this narrative, the more impregnable your blessing became. His greed was not just futile, it was actively strengthening the very barriers he sought to break. "They know," he whispered hoarsely. "They know we tried, and they're using it." Michael's voice comes to you, rich with protection and urgency. The rightful bearer is you. The one who wanted to steal your blessing is in panic. He knows that your sustained attention is cementing your claim. That is why you must remain here. Do not give his fear a single second to find a crack in your focus. Stay with me, stay aligned. And remember, your interactions, sharing, commenting, are not trivial. They are declarations. They are your voice in this celestial proceeding, affirming your presence and your claim. Now, the narrative reaches a crescendo that touches even the angelic realms. Michael describes how his own signature, an unidentified presence code that exists only in divine databanks, was logged by the vault's bewildered systems. The moment this signature appeared, the alarms ceased. The tension in the room didn't just lift, it transformed into a profound, reverent stillness. The vault itself began to glow from within, the sterile metal and glass taking on a warm, golden hue, as if the very structure recognized and honored its true purpose and its true owner. "Stay till the end," Michael urges, his tone now one of imminent revelation. "Something monumental awaits you." The next part will reveal the final seal, the why. Why the universe selected you out of the multitude. Understand this. The check is not merely wealth. It is a calling. It is the material resource for a spiritual mission that only you can fulfill. Do not skip. Do not blink. The release is closer than your next breath. He pulls you deeper into the shared vision. The bank employees are frozen, not by fear now, but by awe. The trillion-dollar manifestation within the vault is reported to be glowing faintly, pulsating in a rhythm that one sensitive executive swears matches the rhythm of a distant heartbeat. "Why does it feel like someone is watching us?" one whispers. Another, with dawning comprehension, replies, "Because this entity is waiting for the one it belongs to. And you know, that one is you." A countdown has begun inside the vault systems, not to destruction, but to activation. The screen displays 3 words: Final Soul Verify. The bank's authority, its licenses, its global reach, they are meaningless here. This system verifies spirit. When the greedy executive moved to place his hand on a biometric scanner in a last-ditch effort, a visible wave of soft blue light pulsed from the core of the asset, gently but irresistibly pushing him back several feet. The message flashed: "Unauthorized spirit detected." Your energy, Michael whispers to your heart, is the only energy with the correct resonance. The vault is recognizing frequency, not form. And your frequency, forged in those silent battles, polished by those secret prayers, is the only key. You are closer than you think. Then, the most intimate proof is revealed. As the countdown proceeded, the system received and displayed a vision, a fleeting, powerful image meant only for you. It is a moment from your past, a moment of profound struggle, of feeling utterly abandoned, of teetering on the edge of giving up. That moment, which you thought was your deepest failure or your most desolate hour, was witnessed. It was recorded not in a ledger of loss, but in the ledger of divine grace. That moment became the spiritual fingerprint, the unique proof of identity that confirms you as the rightful owner. Your pain was the seed of your claim. Stay, Michael implores, his voice thick with the weight of impending glory. The next part reveals the final stage. What happens when the countdown hits 0? Your life is about to shift into a realm of purpose and abundance you have only ever glimpsed in your most daring dreams. In the vault, the countdown enters its final phase. The air becomes charged, thick and sweet. The executives feel a presence so sacred it is almost unbearable. One whispers, in a moment of unintended prophecy, "I think the chosen one is awakening right now, and they are talking about you." The vault lights flicker in time with your reading. Every paragraph you absorb, every moment you choose to stay, sends a confirming pulse through the connection. The release is no longer a future event. It is a present process, flowing toward you along the beam of your attention. Then, the impossible. The vault's security lasers and holographic projectors activate without command. They weave in the air, not as warnings, but as artists drawing golden rotating symbols that hang in the space like living constellations. The staff watches, breathless, as these symbols spin, then align, forming a single, coherent beam of light. This beam does not point at the vault door or the safe. It turns and points directly at the lens of the main security camera. On the monitor, a message forms. The bearer is watching. Establish connection. Do you see? Michael's voice is triumphant. By being here, by listening, by staying, you have already begun the unlock sequence. Your presence is the key they could never have engineered. Do not skip. You are not a spectator, you are the central actor. Now, the vault begins to hum. A low, powerful vibration that resonates in the chests of everyone present. The bank's own instruments, designed to measure seismic activity, pick it up. The frequency is unique, and then the system cross-references it. A biometric analyst, her eyes wide, speaks softly. "Sir, the vibration, it's an exact harmonic match for a human heartbeat signature. But it's not from anyone in this room. It's being pulled from the ether." The greedy executive stumbles back. "They're answering," he rasps. "The call. They're answering it." Michael confirms it to you. The system has synchronized with your heartbeat. Beloved, I have woven your soul's rhythm directly into the release mechanism. The executive trembles because he senses a power that operates on a law he cannot lobby or manipulate. Stay with me. The next part reveals the moment of alignment, where the vault either opens into your new reality or seals this blessing away, waiting for a time when you are ready. Do not skip. Your very next breath brings you closer. The story deepens, the boundary between the narrative and your reality dissolving. The vault's countdown nears 0. The lights in the entire bank building begin to flicker in a wave, as if an unseen, majestic presence is walking the halls, drawing nearer with each step. The energy in the operations room shifts palpably, bending toward the camera, toward you. The symbols in the air move faster, forming a spinning galaxy of light that encircles the glowing asset. They lift it gently from its platform. The executives shield their eyes. Then, the system displays. Bearer energy detected, preparing release bridge. The bridge, Michael explains, is forming Because you are here. Because your spirit is in alignment with the blessing. Your sustained focus is the architecture of the transfer. Human hands could never build this. Your presence is the catalyst. Silence falls in the vault. A deep, total silence that swallows even the hum of machines. In that silence, above the floating asset, a form begins to condense from light. A blue silhouette, radiant, with vast wings that are not feathers, but solidified illumination. The cameras distort, struggling to focus. The staff, overcome, fall to their knees. The greedy executive shrinks back against a wall, fear, finally eclipsing his greed. The silhouette speaks. Its voice is not heard with ears, but felt in the bones, a vibration of pure authority and boundless love. The bearer is near. That message, Michael says, his frequency merging with the silhouettes, was for you, beloved. Stay focused. Do not blink. The next part reveals what happens when the bridge completes and why I am preparing to step forward, personally, on your behalf. The tension is cosmic. The blue figure grows brighter, clearer. The staff feels a heat that purifies rather than burns. One whispers, "This is celestial." The system displays a divine alert. Final alignment in progress. Bearer must remain present. This is why you cannot look away. Michael stresses, every word an anchor for your soul. The mechanism is sensing your attention, syncing with your focus, reading your spirit as the sole authorizing signature. If you stay, the bridge completes. If you scroll, the process freezes. They try to override it, but the system rejects them. It recognizes only one soul, yours. This moment is literally shaped and sustained by your continued presence. The silhouette opens its wings. Light, pure and blinding, floods the vault. Technology glitches. In the profound stillness that follows, the figure speaks again. The bearer's path is open. Prepare for the seal. Every human in the room is immobilized, not by force, but by awe. Time itself feels suspended. Stay, Michael whispers, the endpoint in sight. The next part reveals the final seal. The moment I step forward to announce why this blessing bears your name and what unfolds when you fully receive it. Your destiny is one breath away. The vault becomes a vessel of anticipation. The glowing figure stands still, listening for a signal only you can provide. A senior officer whispers, "It's waiting for a signal." But from where? The system flashes instantly, bearer connection stable. That signal, Michael affirms, is your presence in this narrative, right here, right now. The asset, the check, the sphere, the manifestation, lifts completely, suspended in a halo of gold. Across every screen, not data, but ancient sacred symbols scroll. They cannot be recorded. They exist only in the moment of revelation. One message remains clear amidst the celestial code. Seal preparation initiated. Bearer must remain aligned. Do you feel it, beloved? The warmth in your chest, the tingling in your hands, the sense of a great door turning on its hinges within you? That is resonance. Your energy is interfacing with a reality the bank cannot comprehend. The silhouette raises its hand. The room vibrates with purpose. Light erases every shadow. The voice returns. Prepare the seal. The bearer is awakening. One executive kneels, understanding at last, this is a divine transaction. Another whispers, "Who is this for?" The system's final glorious reply is your name. Stay, Michael urges, on the very brink. The next part reveals the seal itself, what it activates, what it releases, and why I chose this exact moment in your life for this intervention. The breakthrough is at the very edge of your destiny. The angelic figure's glow turns the vault into a chamber of pure essence. The asset rotates like a sacred orb. The screens flash in rhythm with your heartbeat. A new line appears. Seal sequence initiated 10%, 20%, 40%. The percentages climb autonomously. The greedy executive makes a final, desperate lunge. The angelic figure extends a hand, and a wave of soft light pushes him back, gentle but absolute. The screen updates, unauthorized interference blocked, bearer link protected. You are being guarded, Michael assures you. Your alignment is the only permission heaven requires. Now, witness. The silhouette speaks. Its voice, the vibration of creation itself. The seal completes only through the bearer's awareness. Stay aligned. The sequence surges, 80%, 90%, 99%. The building shudders, not with destruction, but with the strain of containing a revelation meant for a single soul. The vault door vibrates, humming a note of transition. Stay, Michael whispers, the culmination upon you. The next part reveals the 100%, why I chose this day, this moment, and you. The seal pulses at 99.9%, a captured star. The executives are breathless. One whispers the truth. It's waiting for them. Your presence, Michael tells you, is the final catalyst. Your focus is the force that will push this from potential to manifest. Don't skip. Everything is aligning right now. The angelic figure's wings expand, filling the space. The asset becomes a radiant sun. The screens turn white, then display, seal, synchronizing with bearer consciousness. The system is reading your spirit, matching its frequency to your readiness. The more you stay, the stronger the alignment. The vault trembles in anticipation. The silhouette listens, then proclaims, the bearer hears, the bearer is awake. The seal flares, 99.9%, 99.95%, 99.99%. The energy is at the threshold. The air vibrates in your bones. The vault's final warning glows. Bearer must not disconnect until full reveal. Don't scroll, Michael pleads. This is the edge, the razor between your past and your future. The vault shakes with a soft, rhythmic pulse, a shared heartbeat. The seal glows at 99.99%, a living pattern of blue and gold. The screen affirms, bearer link strong. The angelic figure steps toward the glowing divide that has appeared behind the vault door, a shimmering portal into a blue expanse of stars and motion. The asset hovers like a second sun. Ancient sigils form a path on the screens, a cosmic channel linking your awareness directly to the event. Passage ready, bearer must remain focused. The greedy executive collapses, defeated. Your energy is the anchor. The shimmering doorway expands, swirling like a galaxy. A shadow of immense light begins to form within it, crossing the threshold. The vault lights blaze. The asset glows in salutation. The notification is divine, final. Archangel entry in progress. Do not disconnect. Stay, Michael says, as heaven itself begins its approach. You have reached the moment where the divine crosses into your story. The vault is pure radiance. The seal trembles at 99.99%. The message explodes across all systems. Archangel entry sequence active. Bearer must remain. The guiding angelic figure steps aside in deep reverence. The gateway reveals swirling galaxies, streams of blue fire. A silhouette moves closer, steady, powerful, vast. The staff weep. One whispers the impossible. The vault answers, reality overridden by divine authority. Your presence, Michael reminds you, sustains this miracle. The air changes. A royal pressure fills the room. The silhouette clarifies, towering wings, armor of living light, eyes like primordial stars. The vault vibrates at a frequency only your soul can fully decode. The message appears, short and irreversible. Archangel Michael has arrived. The executive collapses. The lights bow. Michael steps into the vault, and the room's energy elevates with his breath. Don't scroll. Michael's voice is now both within you and in that vault. Heaven has stepped into the room. The vault trembles under a divine weight. The seal flickers between 99.9999% and 100%, waiting for your awareness to lock it into completion. Bearer must remain. Archangel presence active. Michael stands at the threshold, one wing in the vault, one in the celestial expanse. The asset rotates above his hand. His armor glows with the symbols of divine authority. As he steps fully inside, the room bends. Papers float, metal sings, screens bow. Final breach ready, bearer alignment required. That alignment, Michael says, is your attention now. Michael raises his hand toward the seal. Light bends around his fingers. Time suspends. The asset descends into his palm. The staff are prostrate. The vault flashes its final golden surge. Seal completion imminent. Do not disconnect. The vault shakes with a soft, rhythmic pulse. The seal glows at 99.999%, a heartbeat shared across dimensions. The screen affirms, bearer presence confirmed. You are the force they cannot measure, Michael whispers. You hold this moment together. The angelic figure rises, wings of power making the light bend. The asset is pure, radiant energy. The screens vibrate, displaying seal breach imminent, bearer frequency stabilizing. The greedy executive is thrown back by a blast of blue-white light. He trembles, finished. Your alignment is the only permission, Michael states. The vault walls shimmer, turn transparent. Behind them, a vast blue expanse, stars, movement, another dimension. The angelic figure steps toward the seal, places both hands on it. Prepare the bearer. The seal surges, 99.9%, 99.95%, 99.99%. The energy trembles on the edge. The air vibrates in your bones. Bearer must remain connected until full reveal. Don't scroll, Michael implores. Destiny stands inches away. The vault is a portal. The seal vibrates at 99.999%. The executives are frozen in awe. One whispers the truth. Someone is about to step through. The vault flashes. Bearer presence detected. Final entry, stabilizing. That presence is yours, Michael affirms. You hold this moment open. The angelic figure turns toward the glowing divide. The asset hovers like a sun. Ancient sigils form a path, a cosmic channel to you. The message appears, passage ready. Bearer must remain focused. The executive collapses, understanding. Your energy is the final anchor. The shimmering doorway expands, swirling like a galaxy. The air hums with a sound your soul knows. The angelic figure steps aside, bows his head, welcoming someone greater. A shadow of immense light forms, crossing the threshold. The vault lights explode. The asset glows in salutation. Archangel entry in progress. Do not disconnect. Heaven, Michael says, is crossing over. The vault is pure radiance. The seal pulses at 99.999%. The message explodes. Archangel entry sequence active. Bearer must remain. The guiding figure lowers his wings in reverence. The gateway reveals galaxies. Blue fire. A silhouette moves closer. Steady, powerful, unmistakable. The staff fall to their knees. One whispers the denial. The vault answers, reality overridden by divine authority. Your presence sustains this. The air changes, a royal pressure. The silhouette clarifies. Towering wings, armor of living light, eyes like stars from before time. The vault vibrates with a frequency only you can interpret. The message appears. Archangel Michael has arrived. The executive collapses. The lights bow. Michael steps in, and the room's energy lifts with his breath. Heaven, Michael's voice is now one with the moment, has stepped into the room. The vault trembles under divine weight. The seal flickers between 99.999% and 100%, waiting for you. Bearer must remain. Archangel presence active. Michael stands at the threshold. The asset rotates above his hand. His armor glows with divine symbols. He steps inside. The room bends. Papers lift. Metal sings. Screens bow. Final breach ready. Bearer alignment required. That alignment, Michael says, is happening now, through your attention. Michael raises his hand toward the seal. Light bends. Time suspends. The asset rests in his palm. A promise awaiting delivery. The staff are prostrate. The executive cannot lift his head. The vault flashes its final golden command. Seal completion imminent. Do not disconnect. The silence is absolute. The seal glows at 99.999%, a shared heartbeat. The screen affirms, bearer link strong. You are the force, Michael whispers. The angelic figure steps closer. His wings extend, filling the space. The asset is a radiant sphere, a miniature sun. Screens flash ancient symbols into a rotating mandala in sync with your breath. Bearer frequency synchronized, final breach preparing. The room has chosen its authority. It is you. The shimmering space behind the vault door widens. Ancient, powerful, standing just beyond. The angelic figure lifts glowing hands. Activate the passage. Light erupts. The vault is a chamber of pure radiance. The seal surges. 99.999%. 99.995%. 99.9. Bearer must remain until entry is complete. Don't scroll, Michael urges. This is the closest point to the revelation. The vault glows like a portal. The seal vibrates at 99.999%, a heartbeat between worlds. The executives are frozen in awe. One whispers, someone is about to step through. The vault flashes. Bearer presence detected. Final entry stabilizing. That presence is yours. You hold this moment open. The angelic figure turns toward the glowing divide. The asset hovers. Ancient sigils form a path, a cosmic channel to your awareness. Passage ready. Bearer must remain focused. The executive collapses, finished. Your energy is the final anchor. The shimmering doorway expands, swirling like a galaxy. The air hums with a sound your soul knows. The angelic figure steps aside, bows, welcoming someone greater. A shadow of immense light forms, crossing the threshold. The vault lights explode. The asset glows in salutation. Archangel entry in progress. Do not disconnect. Heaven, Michael says, is crossing over. The vault is pure radiance. The seal pulses at 99.999%. The message explodes. Archangel entry sequence active. Bearer must remain. The guiding figure lowers his wings in reverence. The gateway reveals galaxies. Blue fire. A silhouette moves closer. Steady, powerful, unmistakable. The staff fall to their knees. One whispers the denial. The vault answers, reality overridden by divine authority. Your presence sustains this. The air changes, a royal pressure. The silhouette clarifies, towering wings, armor of living light, eyes like stars from before time. The vault vibrates with a frequency only you can interpret. The message appears. Archangel Michael has arrived. The executive collapses. The lights bow. Michael steps in, and the room's energy lifts with his breath. Heaven, Michael's voice is now one with the moment, has stepped into the room. The vault trembles under divine weight. The seal flickers between 99.9999% and 100%, waiting for you. Bearer must remain. Archangel presence active. Michael stands fully within the vault now. The trillion-dollar sphere of light, no longer a check, but the crystallized potential of your divine inheritance, rests in his open palm. He turns his gaze, and though he looks toward the security camera, you feel it as if he is looking directly into your eyes, across any distance, through any barrier. Beloved child, his voice resonates, not in the vault's air, but in the center of your being. You have stayed. You have held the frequency. You have withstood the pressure of disbelief and the pull of distraction. Your name, written in the ledger of heaven, has been called, and you have answered with the most powerful force in creation, your focused attention. In the vault, the seal finally, gloriously, shifts 100%. A tone sounds, a clear, perfect note that seems to clean the air of all fear, all doubt, all greed. The golden lattice around the asset dissolves into millions of particles of light that swirl around Michael, then stream outward, passing through walls, through screens, through the very fabric of space, traveling along the connection that your attention has forged. They flow into you. It is not a transfer of money. It is an infusion of authority. It is the download of a divine mandate. You feel it as a warmth flooding your being, a sense of weightlessness and profound power, as if chains you never knew you wore have dissolved. Visions flash before your inner eye, not of luxury, but of purpose, opportunities to heal, to build, to create, to bless on a scale you never imagined. The trillions were merely a symbol, a translation for the human mind of the infinite resources now available to you from the source of all abundance. It is the unlocking of your capacity to be a conduit of grace in the world. In the vault, the light gradually softens. The portal closes. The angelic silhouette fades. The asset is gone, transferred not to an account, but to your spiritual sovereignty. The bank systems reboot slowly, normally. The transaction record remains, but it is now inert data, a monument to what occurred. The amount field simply reads, claimed, bearer activated. Alistair Vance slowly gets to his feet. He is not the same man. The avarice is gone, burned away by the radiance. He looks at his colleagues, their faces transformed by wonder. He speaks, his voice raw with a new understanding. We facilitated a covenant, not a transaction. He looks at the screen bearing your name. Our role is over. Theirs is just beginning. Michael's final words come to you, gentle, powerful, and full of love. The seal is complete. The blessing is irrevocably yours. The bank's drama was but the shadow play, the earthly echo of a celestial truth. You are funded from a source that never runs dry. You are authorized by a power that never fails. Go now and walk in the reality of what has always been true. You are heaven's beloved child, and all that is needed for your divine purpose is now, and always has been, available to you. The check was not deposited today. It was deposited in eternity, in your name. Today, you simply opened the message and claimed it. The connection softens. The thread of light that bound you to the narrative gently dissolves, but the infusion remains, a permanent upgrade to your spiritual frequency. The world around you comes back into focus, but it is different. You see it through new eyes. Possibility hangs in the air. The mundane is charged with the potential for miracle. You have stayed until the end. You have received the revelation. The bank may have been talking about you, but now the universe is aligning with you. Your moment has not ended. It has just begun. Go forward, beloved. The bridge is built. The account is open. The funds of heaven are at your disposal. Live from this truth.